BJ Mafia was popping. So NFL fans and Jaguar fans, when you go back to the 2021 and the 2022 NFL draft class, you have two completely opposite ends of the spectrum when you look at the #1 overall pick taken in back-to-back years in Trevor Lawrence and Travon Walker, right? Trevor Lawrence at 16 years old playing high school football at Cartersville, Georgia, then going to the University of Clemson, winning a national championship with Dabo Swinney, then transitioning into the NFL, was already labeled a generational talent at the quarterback position, and he was already compared to the likes of guys like Peyton Manning, Andrew Luck, and John Elway. Now, Travon Walker, on the other hand, while he did some great things with the University of Georgia and that terrific defense that Kirby Smart built up as they won a national championship, Travon Walker did not explode onto the scene really in mock drafts and into draft boards until the combine, when he really rose up everybody's draft boards, and he obviously went #1 overall to Trent Baalke and the Jaguars organization. The Jaguars obviously are taking a huge risk on Travon Walker because he was just oozing with talent, potential, and athleticism that you really could not pass up at the top of the draft. And the Jaguars are now going to be going into year 2 with Travon Walker, as he's going to dominate the NFL game. Now, I'd like to preface my comments by saying two things first and foremost, and the first thing is that every stat that I'm going to read off in this video is per PFF, Pro Football Focus. So if you look at ESPN and you look at Pro Football Reference or wherever you get your stats from, they're going to look a little bit different from PFF. I'm specifically just talking about their analytics department. Secondly, if you think that this agenda is nasty and I'm saying that Travon Walker is going to dominate the NFL game, not only do I think that he's going to be Khalil Mack 2.0, the other two agendas that I'm going to be pushing this offseason for the Jaguars are even hotter takes than this, and I wholeheartedly mean it. Let's actually talk about Travon Walker in today's video now. Now, the first reason Travon Walker is going to dominate the NFL game in year 2 is because I have to take a look at the players and the defense around him. And the first notable player is going to come with Josh Allen, the former #7 overall pick in the 2019 NFL draft class out of the University of Kentucky. Josh Allen has never truly gotten back to his 10.5 sack season in his rookie year when he was playing alongside Yannick Ngakoue and Calais Campbell. But Josh Allen has been an above average edge rusher, and Josh Allen's been a very productive player in the NFL since he's came into the league. And the big thing with Josh Allen is he's going into a contract year, and you know how NFL players play in a contract year. More often than not, these guys are playing their absolute asses off, and Josh Allen's trying to get a huge payday, whether that's from the Jaguars or another team, and I hope he stays in Jacksonville. Josh Allen's going to have a huge season, and that's going to help alleviate a lot of pressure off of Travon Walker, because when I look at what Josh Allen did this past season, I saw a lot of great things from him. 7 sacks, 4 forced fumbles. He also had 77 QB pressures and 21 quarterback hits. Josh Allen's going to be a big reason why Travon Walker is going to dominate in year 2. And then when I look at the rest of the guys on the front 7, right, I see guys like Roy Robertson Harris and Devon Hamilton, who were both re-signed by the Jaguars this offseason. Devon Hamilton's been the one lone bright spot from the Dave Caldwell disaster class in 2020. And then you also look at Roy Robertson Harris, who was a great free agent signing. I'm glad that we got him back because I think he's a great veteran in the locker room, a great guy in the huddle. And also, he really came into his own in the back half of the season, was a huge reason why the Jaguars were so dominant in the pass rushing department in the lighter half of the season. But then you also lose 2 key rotational pass rushers in guys like Dawuane Smoot and Arden Key. Dawuane Smoot, who is still a pending free agent, but he is coming off a torn Achilles. And then when you look at a guy like Arden Key, who went to the Tennessee Titans, yeah, he helped build the city of Jacksonville, but honestly, I think he is replaceable. And then 2 other players that the Jaguars have had on the roster for an extended period of time now has been with Jordan Smith, who's never really had an opportunity to showcase his talents for the Jaguars and our fan base. But Jordan Smith has been talked about very highly of a guy in Doug Peterson, and hopefully he can come in and make some solid contributions this season since he had a season-ending injury last year. And then I'm probably going to get flamed for this one, and I'm not saying this guy's going to be great, but look at a guy like K'Lavon Chaisson. Chaisson's done little to nothing since coming to Jacksonville, honestly and truthfully speaking, but he's going into a contract year, so he's trying to keep his NFL career and his next contract alive potentially. And the kid's only 23 years of age. He's going to be 24 going into next season, and you got to give the kid a little bit of a break. Not only is Calebon Chason going into year 4, but you got to also look at it from the perspective of he's gone through 3 defensive coordinators and 3 head coaches. He's gone through Doug Marrone and Urban Meyer and now Doug Peterson. And this is going to be the first time in his career where he's going to be going into another year with the exact same defensive coordinator and head coach in Mike Caldwell and Doug Peterson. Let's give the guy a little bit of a break, and I do expect him to come in and actually make some solid contributions this season. And then 2 other guys in the draft class is going to be guys like Yasir Abdullah from the University of Louisville and Ventrell Miller from the University of Florida. These guys are going to hopefully come in and have some solid contributions in the pass rushing department in their rookie season. And then 2 other players that I expect to continuously get better and take a step up is going to be with Devin Lloyd and Chad Muma, right? The Jaguars are in a second year of a defense under Mike Caldwell, who really outshined and outperformed expectations last season in the first year in a 3-4 defense. And I expect Travon Walker with the surrounding pieces around him to dominate the NFL game in year 2. Let's get into the second topic. Now, the second reason Travon Walker is going to dominate the NFL game in year 2 is because I believe he's Khalil Mack 2.0. Now, when I take a look back at what Khalil Mack did with the former Oakland Raiders back in 2014, the number 5 overall pick, Khalil Mack kind of got off to a slow start to start his career. I'm going to put the graphic up on the screen for you guys to see. So Khalil Mack, his rookie season, had 71 tackles, 4 sacks, 10 quarterback hits, and 54 QB pressures. Go to his sophomore season where he had a sophomore surge, 58 tackles, 16 sacks, 8 quarterback hits, and 82 QB pressures. Now, when I take a look at Travon Walker and what he did his rookie season, Travon Walker had 47 total tackles, 5 sacks, 8 QB hits, and 43 QB pressures. Travon Walker, to me, is Khalil Mack 2.0. And I feel extremely confident in saying this because I've seen the physical tools, I see the attributes that Travon Walker possesses, and don't let the stats tell the whole story. When you go back and watch the tape and you see how much Travon Walker was consistently getting chipped off of the line of scrimmage immediately, how many double teams were going his ways, offenses were schematically going after Travon Walker to not let him disrupt their quarterback and their run defense because Travon Walker is a physical specimen. He's a dominant force on the edge, and Travon Walker is going to do a lot better in this 3 technique next season as he continues to get more reps, continues to flourish, and continues to perfect his craft. Travon Walker truly is going to be Khalil Mack 2.0. And the reason I have even more confidence saying that is because I look back at the latter half of the season as the season continued to progress and the Jaguars were making a playoff run and their defense was making a lot of key plays. Travon Walker was a big catalyst in that front 7 as to why the Jaguars were so successful, right? Probably his best game of his entire rookie season came in the wild card round at home versus the LA Chargers. In that game, Travon Walker had 5 QB pressures. And then when you look at some other notable performances by Travon Walker, it came in week 13 at Detroit, 4 quarterback pressures. At Kansas City in week 10, 4 QB pressures. Versus the Las Vegas Raiders in week 9, 4 QB pressures. And the 2 games that Travon Walker had the highest graded pass rushing grade of his entire rookie season came in both games versus the Tennessee Titans in week 14 at Tennessee with a 91.6 pass rushing grade and a 69.8 pass rushing grade week 18 versus the Tennessee Titans. I don't care that the Titans got that offensive tackle from Northwestern University. That's barbecue chicken for Travon Walker. And the third and last reason why Travon Walker is going to dominate the NFL game in year 2 is simply off of his contemporaries and really, like I said, his athleticism and the physical tools that he possesses, right? When I look at his contemporaries, obviously he's going to be compared to guys like Aiden Hutchinson and Kayvon Thibodeau, other edge rushers taken in last year's draft class. Even though Travon Walker was taken number 1 overall, there was a lot of speculation that the Jaguars could potentially go Aiden Hutchinson or Kayvon Thibodeau, but the Jaguars rolled the dice and said, we're going to take the guy with the highest ceiling, and I think that's going to absolutely pay off because Aiden Hutchinson comes into the game as a much more refined player from the University of Michigan. And while Kayvon Thibodeau did some great things at the Pac-12 at the University of Oregon, none of these guys have the ceiling and have the motor, I believe, like Travon Walker does, and I think you're going to see that pay off this season. His potential, his athleticism, and the physical tools that he possesses as he continues to refine his skills and continues to develop in this game. What you saw from last season in the latter half of the season, as he continues to work on that this offseason, bro, he's going to dominate the NFL game this season. There's no other way around it, and he's going to absolutely ascend into the ranks as one of the best edge rushers in the game of football. Travon Walker is Khalil Mack 2.0. I wholeheartedly believe that. But NFL fans and Jaguar fans, like I said, you guys might think that this is an outlandish take. I truly believe this, and I'm going to speak this into existence because I'm calling it right now, man. Travon Walker is going to dominate the NFL game. But Jags fans, if you guys enjoyed today's video, make sure you guys go ahead and drop me a thumbs up. It takes 1 second and it helps me in the channel out tremendously. Make sure you guys also go ahead and hit the subscribe bell to stay tuned for more Jaguars content that I do here on YouTube. And make sure you guys also go ahead and follow me on my socials, especially on Twitter. I'm very active and I'm on there every single day. The link tree will be in the description down below, so you guys can go ahead and check that out. But Jags fans, thanks again for sticking around throughout the whole video. Brett James, aka BJ, I'm out, y'all. Go Jags, baby. Peace.